beautiful people, I just had to clean the screen real quick. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you something. People's intoxication of pain, drunken, overwhelmed in their pain will cause their lies, their perception to be miscued. Your pain, the pain will cause them to not see clearly, literally intoxicated with pain. Are y'all ready to talk about it? I'm your girl, Candace. I am the spirit chiropractor. I am a life and relationship coach, and I am breaking down season 7, Love is Blind. This is going to be episode 9 and 10. Just FYI, it's a spoiler alert. So if you have not watched it, stop, go watch 9 and 10, and come back. I had to stand up for this episode. Like, Tim, I told y'all though, I knew it. I knew something wasn't, I knew something from the pods. And so if you've been watching all of my breakdowns, you know we have been speaking about this. And as I sat and watched him and Alex, look, once they started, when he came in, I said, uh-oh, I don't know what's done happened, but uh-oh. And as I'm watching them, well, let me speak on this. I want to say the last thing he said was what we can both agree on is I don't ever want to see you again. That was so harsh. That was harsh. I personally feel like it was even unnecessary. But what I also know as a coach is that ain't nothing but pain talking. That strictly is pain. And as I sit here and I was thinking about all the reasons that he was telling her, if I have to tell you to wash the dishes, then you're not the one for me. Baby, y'all been knowing each other for 4 weeks. So let me enlighten the people. You have to understand when you are in a relationship and you are building something with someone, exactly what Alex said. You have to communicate the things that bother you. Don't let it fester. Don't do what Marissa was doing on their segment of saying, it's fine. When you know inside of you, every feeling that you are having says something differently. Do not tell people you are fine when you are not fine. If somebody has said or done something that has hurt you, communicate it. That way they can be aware of it, because what I do know is, because we come from 2 different lifestyles, me not texting you back may not be a big thing to me. You not texting me may not be a big thing. So you have to communicate it. If it is to you, I felt like in listening to their conversation, even when he said, well, you fell asleep on my parents. And she was like, I was asleep an hour. This goes back to what I was saying about just what his family has been through. He is going to hold whoever his wife is in this space that she has to give something to his parents. This is just my perspective, based off what I saw, based off the grief he carries, based off his love for his parents and his sisters. It is a space in which I think it's unfair for him to assume a woman can fulfill it in the way, and this is going to take, I pray that he gets support in the form of counseling, a life coach, or something. Looking at his face as Alex was talking, it looked like a silent rage was going on within him. And in my mind, I was just thinking, like, even when his responses to her, are you going to let me talk? Or can I talk? I was like, I just wonder what his exes would say. And it was almost like, I kind of wish Netflix would add that piece. Is it an opportunity to talk to their exes? Because this is such a short dating period. But I don't know if if you should hang out in the past, but honey, the past can bring about some revelation as well. But yeah, I just mm, mm. Don't let people gaslight you. This is a moment of a nugget moment. Don't let people gaslight you. If they are saying something that is untrue, you know it's untrue. Call it out. Just like Alex did when he was like, I didn't talk to you that much. She was like, I talked to you 3 times yesterday. Like, no, we're not going to do that. In his mind, he really could have been thinking, I didn't talk to you that much based off whatever his parameter is. But the reality of it for her was, we talked 3 times. And then I took a nap and I called you once I got up. Don't allow people to gaslight you. You know you're being gaslighted when somebody makes you question your reality, makes you question your experience that you know you was in and it didn't happen like that. And some people are excellent at it. It is a manipulative tactic. It is a way for people to feel safe. It is a way, I'm talking about the person that's doing it. Something within them is coming up and they have to make you wrong in order for them to feel safe. They have to justify the emotions that they are feeling within. Instead of owning it, I'm going to make you wrong. Instead of owning it, I'm going to lie to make this situation look this way so you can feel like I feel. That part I think they're doing unconscious. I'm going to make you feel bad because internally I feel bad instead of just communicating, this is how I feel. When people take a conversation and the energy is here and they take it there and it's like, where that come from when it's not justified, it's not reasonable. Not saying that you can't have that emotion, but that was not a reasonable response. Question things, not just to yourself, but question it out loud to the other person. Do not sit with things that you can sense is not right. Even if you can't talk to that person, take it to somebody else and say, let me ask you this. Take the party's faces off of it and just ask the question. I feel like, and I pray that Alex feels like, was able to have some clarity. I don't think as we see, Tim is not ready for marriage. He's just not. And that's okay too. That is absolutely okay, but he isn't ready for marriage. I believe she saved herself. And this is where you realize that you don't understand why things are happening. But I think the level of pain that he still has within him, if it explodes, it will be rage. Like she said, you're holding me to standards that I have no idea about. communicate. And as we talk about communicate, let's move to Ashley and Tyler. I was like, oh no. That was one of the ones that how they edited. I knew something was up. I'm like, now what's gonna happen to my favorite couple? What's gonna happen? I almost got my husband to come on this one with me. If he didn't have nothing to do tonight, I know he would have. But him watching that scene and me telling him what happened, he was like, oh no, that's deceitful. He was like, would you have still went through with that relationship? You would have kept moving forward knowing that? And I had to put the whole thing into perspective. And it is understanding why he possibly did not. If you really are coming on there for love and disclosing in the pods that he has 3 children by his friend, how that could possibly hinder him moving forward. That's why I think a lot of people don't bring up the number of kids they have or the number of fathers or mothers that they have with their children, because you feel like you will be judged. You feel like you will not be given a shot. Because they talked about children so much, I definitely believe that it was deception there. I don't know how they got around to the conversation. I know that it did happen off screen, off camera, and she requested that it be spoken about on camera because they were in this experience and she wanted the experience to be real. But y'all, if you've been following me, be honest. Be honest. Allow people to fall in love based off the truth of who you are. Give them the opportunity to decide, do they want to move forward? Don't let somebody fall in love with you and then you start disclosing big stuff. Like, that ain't no little, that's big stuff. That's life-changing. 3 children by somebody that you do know. Because what you have to realize is, once you get married, your stuff is now my stuff. No matter how separate we try to make it, your stuff is my stuff. We are one. We are one. And I know people, I ain't got to, let me tell you, when it boils down to it, if you are truly one, you are truly one. And so there is no separation in that. Can you try to compartmentalize it? Absolutely. But the bottom line is, your stuff is their stuff. And so, as Ashley said, communication, she felt like, was their superpower. How do you not tell me this? When you want to really be in love, the things that people do. My husband was so crunk on the deception, and that it was a lie. And because the reality of it is, y'all, if we omit things, it's still being dishonest. It's still not being truthful. You having a conversation and you're talking about stuff and you are intentionally omitting things. You ain't being honest. You're being deceptive. You're being a liar. And so all of this is an opportunity to grow. And I was so glad that Tyler was just like, if you choose not to move on with me, I get it. I understand it. I still love you. It doesn't take away from their experience and what they had. But communication is and if y'all watch, if you didn't watch, the couples lounge show on this Saturday. What is today? The 30th. We talked about communication and why it is such a great opportunity for growth in relationships, because it all stems back to our childhood. How we communicate stems back to our childhood. How we say, what we don't say, the tone, the all the things. And so whatever, Tyler was telling himself something in his head as to why he could not disclose this. I'm grateful, and I'm sure Ashley is, that and him, that it was disclosed before they said I do. So to wrap this segment up, if you are on the verge of getting married and you have not disclosed something, then you know you should let them know. Right now, you having a moment in your spirit is like, oh my God, she talking to me. You need to find an opportunity to say it before you get married. Now, if you're already in that thing and you know, oh my gosh, I need to tell them about this, pray about it. Ask God to give you the words to say, give you the time to say it. Now, you can't be putting it off for another 3, 4, 5, 6 months. No. We're going to get this done. When to say it, where to say it, and how to say it. Get it done. Another segment was Marissa and Ramnus. I always mess his name up. That was a heartbreaking scene for me, because he was questioning basically how often he was going to get sex. I just need to know in the future. Let me tell you something. After being married 22 years, we can't predict the future. You cannot. You have to just get a in the now moment. You can get a commitment in the now. And definitely when it comes to our bodies, we don't know what our body's going to be doing in the future. And as you age, your body's going to change. This woman is telling you she didn't feel good. That sometimes when it comes around her cycle, PMS, all the things, that sometimes she doesn't want to be affectionate. She doesn't want the hugging. And you questioned. I just need to know if this is going to be what it's going to be, because I need to know. Is my sex life going to be affected? And I know, but he's been married before. I was going to say, I know you may not get it because you ain't been married. Ramses have been married before, but he is young. He is young. And he might be thinking about her. His man might stop working in about 5 years. And now what? And her concern was men that cheat on their wives when they get sick. See, they forget about for better or worse, through sickness and in health. Your spouse, there should be a love there so much that you cheating on them when they are sick. Not saying you don't have sexual desires, not saying that at all. But your love has to be stronger than to betray, to break your covenant, to do harm to your covenant. And I hate Marissa was saying that she was fine because, and I'm glad he's able to read her. He knew she wasn't fine. And yet, I was like, Ramsey, she already said she don't want to be hugged on right now. And he was just hugging and rubbing and kissing. And he might have a high sex drive, but they was getting it in on day one. So that was another thing that just made me ponder and wonder, was in all of this time that they had been together, was been about 4 weeks at that time, I believe. And it was only 3 times that she said no, or she just wasn't in the mood. And you question marrying her. But it is a great opportunity to be honest and truthful with yourself. And if that's something he think he can't handle, I do applaud him for speaking on it. Now she gets to choose if he cannot be understanding. If we don't know what the future holds, if in my time of sickness, he's going to still want me to please him, although I am feeling horrible, do I want to continue in this relationship? You all, everything is a mirror. It is allowing you to see you. It's allowing you to grow. It's allowing you to heal. It's allowing you to make choices. It's allowing you to be empowered. It's allowing for spiritual growth. Everything. Everything. That's why we don't even have to be mad at people, but in our humanness, we will have that emotion. But it is better for us to allow those emotions to process in its truth and its honesty, and let it continue to flow. Do not stuff it. Do not suppress it. Allow it to flow naturally so that it can move, and so that you can know that I'm still going to be all right. I'm still going to be all right. And it's growth on the other side of this. So just be true to who you are, and don't ignore what you feel, and speak what you think from a place of love. You don't have to go to we can both agree I don't want to see you no more. You can easily say, I've just come to a point in this journey where I am choosing to walk away. I'm choosing me because I realize that this relationship will not benefit us or benefit me. I know what I want, and I've just seen some things that, although we've had some amazing times, I just don't think that I could live with this. And that's what I have to go off of right now. Could I live with this if it doesn't change? We can say what we need to say without being mean, harsh, rude, ugly. You can do that. And so my final say will be this, and it came from Garrett, and it also came from Nick, was that you get to choose the person that you spend forever with. It is absolutely okay to take wisdom, opinions from others, but in the end, let it be your choice, because you are the one that has to live with the decision that you make, not your parents, not your children, not your siblings, not your friends. You got to live with it. Even if you do what they say and you go against what you feel, you ultimately have to live with it. So should you take that? Let me say, should is a judgment. It is wise to take other people's perspective, because when you in love, honey, some stuff you do not see. You literally are blinded because of love. So sometimes other people are seeing things that you don't see, because like I started this out, some people are intoxicated with pain, But sometimes you can be so intoxicated with love that you miss some stuff and you're stumbling and you don't see clearly. So it is absolutely wise to hear the perspective of others. And I'm going to always say, take it to God. Ask God to reveal, ask God to show. Before you ask a woman to marry you, you better get clear with God to see if she is the one. Women, you don't know when he gonna propose, but you need to be clear on, is this somebody you are willing to spend forever with? And don't just say yes to a proposal for the sake of not making him be embarrassed. And you done said yes. You get to honor your no if it is a no or a not yet. You get to honor that. So don't let other people's opinion dictate. If I don't get my parents' blessings, I can't do it. But you got to know your parents too, because some parents are A1. They're going to tell you the right thing. They doing what's right. And you got some parents that just want you to themselves and they don't want you to be with nobody else. So you got to know your parents as well. And so I do agree in taking that into consideration. Take that into consideration. And just be honest. I go back to saying be honest with yourself, because even looking at, I said I was going to end with that. Let me end with that because I was about to get into Nick and Hannah. I hope that you heard some today that will support you in your journey of dating and support you in your journey of love. If you realize that you need support, you're on this journey of self-discovery, it's some stuff in you that you need to clear out, clean up, purify your heart, purify your mind. We got to break free from patterns of our families, things that no longer serve us, our mindsets. And sometimes we need support in doing that. That's why the word says confess to one another so that you can be healed. I would love to be your life coach. I would love to be your relationship coach if it's a couple. We have to do the work. We have to heal, and everybody needs to heal. If you've never got counseling, you've never had a life coach in your however many years of life, get it, because you need it. Because we've all had imperfect parents. We've all had challenges in life. We've been attacked by Satan. We've had experiences that has done something to our heart, that has done something to our spirit, that has done something to our mind. But oh baby, when you get clear, when you start healing that stuff, when you go on this journey of self-discovery, of becoming the best version of yourself, you get to attract a different type of energy, a different type of love. And it feels so good. And it feels so good. So you can find my information on www.candicetug.com. I am really just committed to helping people live the life that they know in their inner being, they know they want. They may not know how to get it, but I know I want this. You can feel it inside of you when you're in situations that do not feel loving, like I don't like this, but I keep finding myself in these situations. What am I doing? I will help you figure it out. Why do I keep finding myself in this hamster wheel? Same dude, different face. Same woman, different face. Same experiences at this job, just a different company. I want to help you figure it out. I want to help you elevate your life. I want to help you transform your life, transform your marriages. Do not give up on your marriage unless you have exhausted all means to make it work, because God is able. God is able. And that means getting you a relationship coach. I do it with my husband, going to conferences, reading books together. And it may take one of y'all. One of y'all might have to change internally to shift the whole relationship. That it might be just that, but be willing. Be willing to do what you need to do in order to have the life that you want. I love you for real. I love you for life. This was episode 9 and 10. I'll come back with 11 and 12, and then we'll hit that reunion. If you have not watched Love is Blind season 7, go catch it on Netflix. It's an amazing show, and you can learn so much about yourself through others. I love you for real. Bye, y'all.